I was refused PIP even though a machine was keeping me alive. It's inhumane. We're going to read into this person's story from iNews, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from iNews with the headline of Irish refused PIP even though a machine was keeping me alive. It's inhumane. James Suett, 28, was exhausted with no quality of life when his kidneys functions plummeted to just 4%, but he was rejected for personal insurance payment as he wasn't sick enough. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. That's right, this man here, this 28-year-old man whose kidneys are plummeted and is functioning to just 4%, who relied on a machine to keep himself alive, was rejected PIP because they deemed him not sick enough. These are the people who are making assessments of whether or not people are entitled to any kind of payment from the benefit system. This is someone who needs a machine to stay alive, and his payment was rejected. Yeah, rejected. What's the matter with people? Like, this is the thing. Yeah, you know, having that phone call or conversation or video call or however the people at these job centres, these are people who have no understanding of what some ordinary people are going through. Some of the people with these disabilities are going through absolute horrendous struggles here. You really have to be cold-hearted to do that job. But not just that. They have targets they have to meet. They have to be cold and ruthless, because if they're not, they'll get replaced. And that's the thing. They're not allowed to be compassionate and caring about people's situations that they are in. No, they have to treat people like this. They're told to treat people like this. It's really inhumane, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Yeah? I mean, again, look at this headline and ask yourself, is this justified? Is this justified taking away this person's payments? Yeah? I don't think so. And I think if anyone does, I think you really need to question yourself and look at yourself in the mirror when you have somebody who's struggling to stay alive and his payments are being rejected because he wasn't deemed sick enough. What the hell is wrong with these people? A kidney patient says he was rejected for personal independent payment PIP benefit as he wasn't sick enough while being kept alive by a dialysis machine. James Suett, 28, from Stockport, Manchester, was fit and healthy and playing a lot of football when he was suddenly diagnosed with kidney failure at the age of 24. His condition deteriorated, and at one stage his kidney function plummeted to just 4%, meaning he required dialysis to keep him alive. Mr. Suett said his condition left him so exhausted he couldn't even walk down to the end of the row without getting out of breath, and even had to be helped into a shower. However, when he applied for PIP, the benefit for people who have long-term illness or disability, he was turned down because he was told he was not sick enough to qualify. These people who are making these decisions don't have any medical qualifications whatsoever, so they have no understanding of what these people are going through at all. Mr. Suett told the Eye he appealed twice against the decision but was knocked back and is now going to challenge it in a tribunal hearing. He believes the current PIP system is already harsh and inhumane, and said government plans to overhaul the benefits and introduce a 6-tier system will make life even more difficult for people who are already struggling. With PIP, it already feels like we are waiting for people to lose all hope, he said. They reject you straight away, and it's almost like they are banking on you not to appeal and to just give up. To make the system even harder will be detrimental to a lot of people and inhumane from a government point of view. Mr. Suett explained that his diagnosis came after he began suffering from cramps and headaches and went to the doctors after realising his blood pressure was extremely high, and he was given medication to try and bring it down. However, a subsequent doctor visit found it was even higher. He was admitted to a hospital where his tests revealed his kidneys weren't working properly and were only functioning at about 11%. He was given the medication, and at a further appointment, he was told he needed dialysis and to survive and a kidney transplant. When the kidneys didn't work properly, they can't clean people's blood, so toxins build up in their bloodstream. The kidneys also make less urine, so excess fluid and waste products remain in the body. Mr. Suett began on a pedestal dialysis, where the blood is cleaned inside the body. This involves him being hooked up to a machine and pumped with fluids for 8 hours every night. I feel for this person. This is anyone going through all this is absolutely horrible. I really feel for this person. However, after 7 months, this form of diagnosis stopped being effective, so he was admitted to hospital for 2 weeks and then changed to, I can't pronounce this word, guys, so my apologies if I mispronounce it, hemodialysis. This involves diverting blood into an external machine where it's filtered before being returned to the body. Mr. Suett had to have this treatment lasting around 4 hours at a time every other day at our hospital satellite unit. My quality of life was nil, he recorded. I'm a big football fan. I could no longer go to the football. I couldn't even walk down the road without getting out of breath, he said. I would get up in the morning, sometimes have to be helped into a shower, and then I would walk downstairs and have someone make breakfast for me, and then just sit there as I have no energy for anything else. I was just wiped out all the time. After going to a period of dialysis, Mr. Suett, who worked as a surveyor for a property company, managed to return to work 3 days a week doing light tasks with someone helping him to work him back. However, he caught COVID and ended up in hospital, and his kidneys function became worse and he dropped to just 4%. He was cut off from work from June 2022 until March 2023, when he had a kidney transplant, and he was able to return to work in a phased return in September 2023 and then full-time in November 2023. Mr. Suett initially submitted his PIP claim in January 2022, but was turned down. He said he appealed twice but was rejected. He's now taking his case to the tribunal and is awaiting a date. He says he did have a tribunal date, but asked for it to be adjourned as he did not have the necessary paperwork from the DWP about his claim. And DWP I'm going to be fussy about it as well. I was pretty much told by the DWP, we do not believe you are sick enough for PIP benefit when I applied, he said. I don't understand how could this be made the case when my day-to-day existence was relying on a machine to keep me alive. I was so exhausted. On some days, I couldn't even get out of bed. I submitted my PIP claim 2 years ago and I've still not been given it. I am now hoping to get a positive decision when I have my tribunal and get it backdated from January 2022 until September 23, which is when I return to work on a phased return. Mr. Suez was put on the waiting list for a kidney donor, and members of his family were going through the process of being tested to donate to him. However, in March last year, he underwent a transplant from an organ from a deceased donor, and said the difference to his quality of life was instantaneous. I am lucky as I am now back at work and I'm a lot better than I was since having my transplant, he said. But I was turned down for PIP when I needed it. If I hadn't been living with my parents, I don't know what I would have done. There are so many people, including those suffering with kidney disease, who are struggling to get PIP, and make it even harder would be so cruel. If he didn't have his parents, if he didn't have family, if he didn't have friends, if he didn't have those people, he may not be here right now. Flora Lloyd, Policy Director at Kidney Care UK, said personal independence payment is a lifeline for people with chronic kidney disease in the UK, also known as CKD. It is an incredibly complicated and stressful system to navigate, and the current assessment process frequently fails and upsets people with CKD, as we can see by the huge proportion of initial decisions that are overturned on appeal. People with kidney disease tell us that the process, frequent refusals and appeals are extremely stressful, and that assessors appeared to lack the knowledge, experience and skills to understand how kidney disease can affect patients' functional abilities, including the dialysis, multiple hospital visits and the effects of medication needed to simply stay alive. Our patient support and advocacy service and PIP helper tools are in place to support people through the process, but we need a much better system. Reform is sorely needed, yet this must be focused on to make sure people get the support they need to thrive, and not on cruel cost-cutting measures that will make life with kidney failure even more difficult. DWP spokesperson has said, we support millions of people every year, and our priority is that we receive supportive service and get benefits that are entitled to as soon as possible. Our diabetes assessors are qualified health professionals. Qualified health professional. Well, they were obviously they're not. That's a flat out lie. You can clearly hear the story of what this man has been said. How are there people qualified based off that? And decisions are made using all the information available at the time. If someone disagrees with a decision, they can ask for it to be reconsidered and appealed to an independent tribunal, as Mr. Suett had done in the case. The DWP added that in a tribunal hearing that was due to take place in March 2024 for Mr. Suez, but he was asked for it to be adjourned as he was out of the country on holiday. Why was he out of the country on holiday? Why was he out of the country on holiday if he's having these issues? Like I understand the holidays. It was then due to be heard in April 2024, but Mr. Suez had asked for it to be adjourned again. However, Mr. Suez said it was not his decision to adjourn in April. So whose decision was it then? But the DWP and the judge on the day said they did not feel it would be fair to have a tribunal without the necessary documents. Yeah, now they're saying it's because he was out of the country on a holiday. But the argument that he was making in the piece here was saying that he did not have all the necessary documents. Because the DWP weren't giving him all the necessary documents at first. So I think that's an important factor to make in there too. But based on this, I still take his side more than anything, guys, because you just read that story of what he's gone through. And yes, I'm glad that he's a lot better now. But in that period of difficulty, of hardship, he needed that PIP and he wasn't given it. And luckily for him, he had parents there to support him. Now, like I said, just imagine somebody who doesn't have their parents there. Imagine somebody who doesn't have their friends there. Imagine somebody who is on their own, don't have those friends, and something like that happens to them. And they need that money to stay alive. And they don't get it. We're literally killing somebody here. This is how deep we're talking about here. You know, I keep hearing this phrase from people who have a problem with immigrants about looking after our own. This is one of our own. This is one of our own here. Yeah? Is this how you look after our own? Ask yourself that. It's disgusting and it's shameful. And these people who make these assessments should be all fired or go through vigorous retraining, because they have no compassion whatsoever of what people go through. No compassion at all. They really, really don't. It sickens me. It really sickens me, because I hear it. I hear it from people. I do hear it from. I've heard it from people. Even fellow YouTubers have gone through these systems that I've been told about, and it makes me sick to my stomach. You know, I don't like free handouts. I can understand why people don't like people on free handouts. But we're talking about a small minority of people who are choosing not to work here. But in this case, in this particular case, we have someone here who desperately needed that money and wasn't given it. And we have a lot of people who are going to be in the exact same situation and being told that no, you can work and you should work. What in that case, in his situation? Some people will be in a lot worse state than him. So you let me know what you think, guys. What do you honestly think? Do you think the benefit system is fair? Do you think it was right that James Suett was denied PIP? Because I don't think so. I think it's disgusting. I think it's absolutely shameful. But maybe some of you are probably heartless yourself and think it's perfectly justifiable. But if you do have a heart, let me know how you honestly feel about it, because this is not the only case. We know there are other cases out there. Share your thoughts and more in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble, Patreon, or Facebook for exclusive content there as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.